A new ban list for Master Duel has just been released, and we're going to be using this new ban list on twitch.tv/DK this Sunday alongside new April pack leaks. Now, going into this ban list, let's see what the tier list is looking like. You can see that Snake Eye Fiendsmith is the sole tier 1 deck at a power level of 26, more than double the second deck at Tenpai Dragon being tier 2. And we have White Forest also within tier 2 and a bunch of decks at tier 3. Now, we just had a Duelist Cup where the best players competed for a spot at Worlds. We could see what the top 10 decks were there. So I'm going to zoom in to not spoil myself. Click on Tournaments, Duelist Cup Top 10, a slow scroll. We could see Snake Eye Fiendsmith, 50% of the top 10 decks. That is absurd, essentially because it is the main best deck and everything else is just being built randomly to try to beat that deck. So I'm hoping for some good hits on this ban list for Snake Eye Fiendsmith because I know a lot of people are not enjoying this meta. So let's hop right into the ban list. Boom. This will be applied on April 10th. What do we have here? Scroll in. We have cards to be unlimited. Purrely from 2 to 3. I guess I could look up the cards, right? This may spoil the other hits for Purrely, but let's see. Purrely. What else is hit is Purrely itself. Purrely is now fully unhit, and the Delicious Memory is still limited to 1. Sleepy Memory is unlimited. And this is a deck that used to frequently be on the top cards page of the official in-game analytics for being the highest win rate. And now Ritual Beast is holding that #1 spot. So it looks like all the Purrely players have switched on over to Ritual Beast instead. Quite interesting. I'm a big fan of this deck. Is this enough to make the deck top tier? I do not believe so. I think Delicious Memory needs to be bumped up. As you can see in TCG and OCG, it is at 2 or completely unlimited. So let's keep on going from Purrely. Cards to be limited. Nothing to be semi-limited. Okay, and this is quite short on the unlimit also. Limited. Sangen Kaimen. This was actually one of my predictions on stream where I predicted that mostly Snake Eye Fiendsmith would get hit with cards like, let's say, Diablo Star, Bonfire, a Beatrice ban, of course, and Kaimen was the only non-Snake Eye Fiendsmith restriction that I predicted would happen, as now Kaimen is limited to 1. Very good, okay. And if I were to look on over to TCG, the impact of Kaimen being limited to 1, let's type in Tenpai up here. Tenpai restriction in the TCG. They have Chandra at 1, Sangen at 1, Kaimen at 1. That's very similar to how we have it in Master Duel. And if we look at the tier list on TCG, Tenpai has really fallen off all the way down here. Now, they do have more powerful decks in the TCG that are not available in Master Duel at the moment, being Ryzeo, Malice. Blue Eyes also has a lot more power than our current Blue Eyes. But let's keep on going. Back on over to Master Duel meta. The deck's still going to be good, I think. Very good. Just not at the tippity top tier. Probably not tier 2 once you get the newer decks. Block Dragon? What? No way. Block Dragon is still banned in the TCG, but of course we have Maxi and they do not. Holy moly. Block Dragon, searchable at the rank 4 Xyz, and then when this card's sent from the field to the graveyard, you could add up to 3 rock monsters from your deck to your hand. Now, that effect is a hard once per turn, but what's not a hard once per turn is continually re-special summoning this card from your hand or graveyard by banishing just 3 earth monsters, used alongside grass looking greener. So if we were to bring this up, what does this mean for Master Duel? We can't look at TCG stats because it's banned. But over on to OCG land, Emancipator, Gem Knights, I think they have some newer stuff. We're going to click OCG here. Yeah, as you can see here, the OCG tag on some of these cards. So this is not even worth looking at. But for Emancipator, we should look at that. Emancipator, the Granite, this is the card I was talking about that would search for the Block Dragon. 100% used. Holy moly. But how recent are these tournament tops? January, December, September. They're kind of older, so it looks like the deck has kind of fallen off despite having access to Block Dragon. You can see Beatrice, you know, they used to have Beatrice, but then it was banned. Is that the reason why this deck fell off? No, a lot of them are not using Beatrice, and yeah, just naturally fell off to, I guess, Ryzeal and Malice coming out. So maybe that's why Konami's okay with unbanning this, as they saw essentially the same exact way we could play in Master Duel just naturally fell off in the OCG. Interesting. Let's keep on going. What do we have? What do we have? Whoa, okay, nothing else limited, nothing else unlimited. Really? Okay, banned. Beatrice, and I was predicting also that Wanted Seeker could get banned. Let's see. Forbidden. Beatrice, to no one's surprise, banned in the TCG, banned in the OCG. Beatrice is now gone. Wow, said no one, actually, because this was very much expected. Snake Eye Fiendsmith, from just the Fiendsmith engine, you could dump your Snake Eye Ash and then reborn it with your Promethean Princess. With White Forest, you could then dump your Stellar from the deck to the grave, then reborn it with a Sprite Elf. Tearlaments was using it just to trigger a Tearlament fusion even, or if you could want to send the Black Goat Laughs, that's kind of nasty. Those are the main three decks that were using it. Yubel Fiendsmith does not need it as much because they could use the new Aerial Eater. So let's see, what else do we potentially have here? Beatrice banned. All right. What? No. Just the fact that the limited was this short and already going to Forbidden. The only other card that I thought could be forbidden was the Wanted Seeker, because holy nope, this is staying. It would be the first place where it would get banned. I could not believe this. I would say in the majority of duels, Snake Eye Fiendsmith does not even summon Beatrice. Only through heavy interruption, or if they do not open up any way to go into the Snake Eye engine, do they even resort to going into Beatrice with the Fiendsmith cards? This is wild. I could not believe that this deck is essentially, for the most part, at full freaking power. Oh my Jesus. I can't believe Konami did. This is such a small ban list. I was really thinking big things would happen. In the TCG, Original Sinful is freaking banned. Diablo limited to 1. We also, Bonfire limited to 1 in OCG. There are a lot of different hits that they could have done here. I'm not saying that they should have banned Original, but at least Diablo and Bonfire, I think, were really easy predictions. To the point where this will, if it did not happen now, I really think it's going to happen just on the next ban list, maybe the very next one. Holy moly, Konami, are you out of your mind? This is insane. What are people thinking about this on the comments? I mean, this is it? This has to be like a mistake or something. This is really short. A post-Duelist Cup ban list where a Duelist Cup was dominated by mostly just one deck. You would think that would call for big changes, and the Snake Eye cards are old. How old is Snake Eye Ash? 2024, this is not your eyes deceiving you. This came out a whole year ago and was top tier on release, is top tier a year later, and Konami thinks that this is just okay. I guess. Wow. Let's see. I am going insane, says Mayora. Are we really going to keep seeing Snake Eye combos until this planet explodes? Yeah, people are. So if you're not familiar with Snake Eye, what people really hate about Snake Eye is its incredible hand trap resilience. Normally against certain decks, like let's say you're playing against a branded deck, you know to just Ash the Branded Fusion, for the most part, you'll be okay. There is no good point to use any of your hand traps against Snake Eye Fiendsmith, because even when perfectly using your hand traps, they could keep on playing through it. You generally need at least 3 good hand traps, even well timing them, and they could still end up on a few forms of disruption. It's insanity. And when you have no disruption, their turn is like 10, 15 minutes long. It's pretty much an unskippable cutscene that you've seen a million times before. I don't know if you play any other video games like me where I'm just skipping through those cutscenes, even if I have not seen them. But you got to watch this one over and over and over again. Konami, really? The next the April ban list will address this deck. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Yes, April is when it's gonna happen. Oh boy, where's the rest of the list? Where's the list? Clearly, Beatrice was the only card in the format that truly needed to be addressed. Thank you, John Konami. Oh my goodness. I mean, if we just look at the recent Meta Weekly we had. Snake Eye Fiendsmith, White Force Azamina. I was thinking if they could hit Snake Eye and if White Force were to skyrocket in dominance, that what could keep the deck in check would be Droll and Lockbird. So you may be thinking, why not play Droll right now? Well, Droll essentially does nothing against Snake Eye Fiendsmith to the point where they play Droll themselves just to Droll themselves. They use Droll on themselves to stop an opponent's Maxi or Fua loss. That's why any other deck that's not Snake Eye Fiendsmith, you don't even bother using Droll and Lockbird. It's just not as good. But against White Force, it would have been amazing. So I think that would have been an equalizer if that would have become the new best deck. This is crazy. And then a Duelist Cup, first place, Mistletoe, playing Snake Eye Fiendsmith, secondarily playing some Ritual Beast, I'm sure just to, you know, get cheesing with the Protos. What else? Hey, we got a branded deck here in the top two. Nicky Boy. Holy Nicky Boy. Nicky Boy wins so many Meta Weeklies, and the Mad Lad got top 3 global. 4 first places in the Meta Weeklies. Literally one with Blue Eyes and then topped with Tenpai in the Duelist Cup. That's amazing. Good job. Whoa. Cyberjar in the top cut here. Oh, stun deck. Oh, ew. We have Kashtira also. You know, they're not, yeah, they're stunning. They got the floodgates. Yep. And then back to the rest of the top global cut where it's Snake Eye Fiendsmith. So what? You have to play Snake Eye Fiendsmith, Floodgates, or, you know, the random hero, one-trick pony, branded players, not really one-trick pony, that you got to be super high IQ, and I don't say that lightly, to play this deck well. So, you know, the branded players are already going to persevere through no matter what meta is thrown at them. This is crazy. Snake Eye Fiendsmith, 50% of the top cut, Snake Eye freaking Fiendsmith. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about within this video. I think it's all pretty much been said. I could scroll through some more of the comments here. What other insight could they really have beyond what I've already said? I don't think Snake Eyes can recover from this, guys. They only have another 50 billion playable cards to choose from. I think they're done for. Unlock the block. Yeah, Block Dragon is exciting. Whoa, they prefer to keep this format miserable than to give some URs back. Another, 3 months of the same, you know, the next, surely, the very next ban list after this one is going to address Snake Eye. And don't worry, I'm going to tell you this. The April pack is meta-defining. It is big. Can it compete with current Snake Eye Fiendsmith? I was expecting a bigger hit on Snake Eye Fiendsmith. So now it comes to the point where I can't promise that the April pack leak is better than Snake Eye Fiendsmith itself. But if Snake Eye Fiendsmith gets even any other hit within the very next ban list, then I think what we have in the April pack will be the new best deck. The tier 1 best deck. It may share a spot at tier 1 alongside Snake Eye Fiendsmith if nothing happens to Snake Eye Fiendsmith soon after the release. So do look out for that. I guess that is the saving grace that I know some really good stuff is in the April pack to shake things up. So I'll see you on the very next Twitch stream where we're going to be leaking the April pack and more. And yeah, disappointing ban list, I think so. Beatrice was, this is something that should have just been preemptively banned on the release of Fiendsmith. This is nothing. This shouldn't even been here. And then, so essentially this entire ban list is literally just Sangen Kaimen to 1, which it should have just been limited to 1 already. Like this whole ban list is pretty much just nothing. It's just nothing. This should have happened already. This should have happened already. And Block Dragon and Purrely, you know, Block Dragon maybe will have some fun, but the Purrely, this is nothing. Nothing. I'm out. Thank you.